Okay, so today we have a special guest to share about Google Classroom, Patti Bates from Crook County. But before she starts, I'm just going to put up a sheet that has some announcements and what our next set of community practices will be. So, can you guys see it or do I need to move it?
We can see it.
You can, okay.
Yeah, we can see it.
Perfect. So today is Patti with Google Classroom. And if you go to the YTP website, you can see all the upcoming community of practices. But I gave you a little more information what the next few weeks are going to be. So next Thursday, it's on secure contacts. If you're interested in that, there's Remind 101, Google Voice, and NoTel that people are going to talk about. The following week on May 7th, there will be a community of practice on college and career readiness curriculum. And Melody Rogers has an online curriculum that she's willing to share with you. And it's a 10-week curriculum for career and college readiness. And that following week on Monday, there'll be one on mental health, which we can probably all benefit from because it has definitely been a challenging time for people who like to work with other people and are sitting at home in front of a computer screen, right? So those are the upcoming community of practices, and more details about 514 CIS and 521 professional skills. And that you can all find on the YTP website. So you all know that, and I just wanted to share that with you. And also say that Summer Academy on June 24th and 24th and 25th is canceled. The site we had picked out was a 4-H outside of Salem, and they're not letting people use it. So what we decided, instead of inundating you with online training for 2 days in a row, to have a series of community practices on Thursdays in June in replacement of Summer Academy. And so again, we're just going to continue these Thursday community of practice. And that will be in place of Summer Academy in June.
And just if you need the heads up, those will likely be a little bit longer. We're thinking about an hour and a half each week rather than an hour to give us a little bit of extra time.
Right. And we will let you know what the subject area. And today, Patti Bates, again, this is an outline of what she plans to do today with us is create a classroom, create an assignment, upload a Zoom. And so what I'm going to do is turn off my share and turn it over to Patti. And are there any questions before we get going? So I'm going to turn this over to Patti, and she's going to do her Google Classroom training.
Hi guys, thanks for having me. So I'm going to actually show you how to create an actual classroom. I'm going to put some adults in there. So sorry, since we're a team, I'm going to put you in there and Terry. I'm going to put in one of my assignments. I will put in a Zoom because I do weekly Zooms with the kids and record. So like we did one for a resume and one for an application cheat sheet. So I'll show that. It's a little bit more extensive to do that. And also just some other tricks and stuff that we've been using that could potentially be helpful for you and where you are and as you guys are starting to move into using Google Classroom and that learning piece. So I'm going to share.
Excuse me, I have a question.
Yes.
So is Zoom going to be the same as Google Classroom?
Google Classroom is where you actually grade, put the assignments. Zoom is just like what we're doing right now.
Okay.
So Zoom, you can record like your lessons and share pages and write on it and do that, and then upload it into the classroom so the kids can see it.
Okay.
So the Google Classroom is actually where you post your assignments, grade them, give them feedback, all of that stuff.
Okay.
Okay.
All right.
So most of you use Gmail. So on the right hand side, you have your, usually starts with your letter. So T for Terry, P for Patty. And next to it, you have all of these nifty boxes. And usually you can see that Google Classroom sits right here. You have Google Docs, Google Slides. There's also Google Meet, which is also kind of like Zoom. And we'll talk about that in a little bit. But Google Classroom, and this is what it looks like when you click into it, unless you like already have mine in there right now. So I have an occupational prep class or a work readiness class, and I can't go into that one and show you because I can't show you my kids. So we're going to actually create one. So to create one, you're going to put the plus sign. I have to move me out of the way, and you're going to put create class and whatever name. So let's do work readiness. And, you know, you can put the room, the subject, whatever you want. I just created it for whatever. I put the room number so they know where to find me if they need to. And then hit create. And this is what it looks like. So we're gonna, so it automatically says, add students on the people page and give them the class code to join. So do you see the class code right here?
Yes.
This is one that it will automatically, once you put the kids in, it'll email them that class code so that when they go to Google Classroom, it immediately gives them a code to get into that class. Okay, so only the people you invite. So click on got it. It's also right here below the name of the class, if for some reason you can't find it. And then you can also bring it up bigger and you can copy it and then email it to your kids that way, but the Google Classroom will automatically email it. Okay. So here at the top, you can see that you have stream.
Can I ask a question about that real quick?
Yes.
Sorry. So the teacher I've been working with, she hasn't had the kids enter the code. She's just been emailing them directly as an invite to the class. Do you know how to do that?
It will automatically do that in just a minute when we invite them, and I'll show you how to do that.
And they don't have to enter the code?
No.
Okay.
I have a couple other kids that were, yeah, you can, I just want you to know where the code is in case you need it.
All right, thank you.
You're welcome. So then there's people. So this is, so it shows me as the teacher, and then there's students. So we're going to add. So we're going to put in, let's say, Stacy, and then invite. So you can see that she's here. But I want to put in a couple other people. So Terry, do I not have you on here, Terry?
Do my Gmail. Do Terry Falkenstern. FALKENSTERN @gmail.com.
Hey, popped up. Okay. And then you can do it individually if you choose to, but or you can keep on. So I can do, let's see, Hannah. Do I have Hannah on here? I don't have Hannah on here. So let's just do those two. Okay. Oh, Terry, and then yours went away. Sorry, guys. All right. So let's invite. So we have a couple of kids on here. So it says invited. So Stacy and Terry, will you guys go in and accept those?
Okay.
So you can see on here that it shows kids invited. When they accept it, then it'll show just their name. And it'll also email you and tell you that they've accepted the invite into the classroom.
Okay, so I just say continue, and that will be my, I continued. Create or join your first class.
Join.
I don't, okay, do you want me to share what I have on my screen?
Let me stop sharing. Okay, I'll let you do it.
Okay. Oh, that's not what are you seeing? You're not seeing my email, are
We're
you?
seeing your notes.
Okay, why did it go away? Okay, let me stop. Just a second. Sorry about that. I've been having technical difficulties lately. Okay, just 1 minute. Sorry, I needed to close something. So this is what I got from you. And I went to Classroom. Do you guys see this?
Go to Classroom.
So I went to Classroom.
So see where it says arrow on the right-hand side and it says create or join your first class?
Yeah.
Click on that plus sign and then hit join class.
Okay.
Oh, it is going to make you put in the code.
It makes you put in the code.
Okay. Let me see if I can. Let me see if I can just look at the code here without. Sorry, guys. Technology sometimes.
Patty, while you're looking for that code, Patricia's made a note in the comment that says, in my classroom, in my Google Classroom, we're only allowed to invite students and parents through their designated district email. No outside emails such as Google. Do you have any ideas as a workaround for this? And that might be what you're experiencing right now because Terry is not part of Crook County or Prineville School District, or, and that may be the reason for it.
That's probably true. If I had an email, if it was Stacy who opened it up, she might get right in because she has the email that is attached to Crook County.
Yep.
See, will you? She probably already has. Can you give me back my viewing screen?
How's that?
Let me see if I can see her. Still says invited for Stacy.
Can you see the class code? Because if you give me the class code, I can put it in.
Oh yeah, class code is 32154 YW.
Just a minute. 3, 2, 1, 5, 4.
Or YW.
W. Okay, join. That code is invalid. 32154, capital Y, capital W.
No, just YW, no capital.
Okay. It doesn't like it. I can't get in.
Because it is an outside.
We can't hear Stacy. She's giving us a chat. I don't think, but I get right in without a code. So it is about the email. So can Stacy share her screen and show us? Because you're right. This is the issue. This is how you learn about a lot of things. Okay.
Yeah, Patricia is just saying that the code does not work when trying to join outside district emails. There's a security block. So this is helping you protect the privacy and security of your Google Classroom and keep outsiders out.
It must be for kids only because it will allow you to invite all parents. And you can use any email to do that. And once you hook that parent's email to that classroom, it'll email them for every single Google Classroom they're involved in. So for like our school district, we have 7 classes. All of they're getting emails for their classes saying what they're missing, grades, all of that stuff, and they can see it all.
Should we show Stacy getting right in, or is that a critical piece?
Stacy, did you get in? I want to see if she
did say that she got in without entering.
Got right in, but she said we can't hear her.
Oh, all right.
Stacy, if you'd like to try to talk, if you have a microphone, you might be able to adjust which microphone setting by using the left side caret by the mute on the Zoom screen.
Okay, I unmuted her. Wait, she moved.
Yeah, she's unmuted, Terry. She just may not have a mic. I don't know.
Okay.
She's having Wi-Fi issues. Okay, well.
All right, so let's move on. So the other thing is when you're looking at these, your kiddos right here, once they accept, and if it'll just say Stacy, and then the next to it over here will say invite guardian. And at that point, you can click on it and add parents into there. And you can add multiple parents. Like I have 2 siblings here. One mom lives in another state. Dad is here with them. And so they both want that communication. So, or maybe you have parents that are divorced. You can put multiple emails in there so that parents can see what's going on. And you can actually email through here too.
Okay.
So,
can I say something really quick? There's some chat that says, this is a problem trying to have students in YTP join if they have graduated. I am trying to work this out with our tech team. So this is an issue that we just didn't know we were going to have, that people are having out there using Google Classroom without outside of their school district.
right.
And so several people have said they have that same issue.
And I'm wondering if, have that conversation with tech about, can they create a school email for those kids that are in transition to use, or in YTP just for this reason? I don't know. I think every school district's different, so. All right. Any more questions, or do we want to move on creating assignments?
Creating assignments.
Okay. So then you go into classwork and you can, it tells you what you can kind of put up here, and that's, so I usually go create, assignment, materials, questions, kind of whatever you want to do, but I usually put everything under assignment. Let's see. So I have my kids create an application cheat sheet. This is basically for all that information they would need if they were going in somewhere to apply for a job, and the application, they need to fill it out on the spot. So they have it all in one area: phone numbers, addresses, emails, everything they need, so that they're not caught off guard, because some of those kids can't sometimes even struggle with their, remembering their own phone number. So put in the title, you can put in instructions, whatever you choose to put in there. And then if you create, you're going to add it on there. So you're going to hit a file. We're going to select from my drive, go to documents, and then right here is the application cheat sheet. Hit open. And then upload. So the file is here at the bottom. You can see it. Make sure that you can make a file, or they can view the file, of course. Students can edit the file. I don't want everybody doing the same cheat sheet, right? Because that's just one. So make a copy for each student. I usually click that one so that they each have their own. It's for all students. How many points do you want it? You can change that. The due date. So I usually do mine by week. I do it on Friday for the next week. I usually have my bigger assignments due on a Friday so that the kids can look at it and figure out what they need by the end of the week. So let's say the 24th of this week. I don't usually put a time. And then you can do a rubric if you want to, if you're going to do grading that way, it's there. So that's really your choice. And then you hit assign. So here it is, and this is what the kids are seeing. So if you click on it, you can see there's one assigned, 0 kids. So like, you know, I have 8 kids in one class, so it would be 8 assigned, and who's turned it in, it'll tell you. But the nice thing about this is I also have it in a Word doc so that they can actually download this and make correction or do everything on it, and then just immediately put it right back into the classroom or right back in here so I can see it. So it's nice that there's a few things. The application is one of those, it's not fillable, so it's a little bit of an issue, but you can see who's assigned it. So Stacy is actually in here now. And so go back out here for a second. I want to add another one, and I want Stace, if you would. I'm just going to do a question.
While you enter that, Elizabeth Kins in Vernonia says that her tech department has been able to create school Gmail accounts for her YTP students that are out of school. So there is a way to make that happen. If you have questions about that, she probably doesn't know the answer, but she might be able to get some sort of an answer from her department.
So she probably had to submit the actual accounts that got okayed. Sounds like.
I just gave the tech department the students' names, and she then created the accounts for me.
So Stacy, I just did a general question. I do ask my kids every day a general question. Some of it's off the wall, some of it's more work related things. So if Stacy clicks on this and she does it really quick, and then I can show you how to grade this as well, because there's 2 different ways you can grade. And the other thing that you have to be super careful about with Google Classroom is sometimes kids will, they do it and send it back on Google Classroom, and then sometimes they'll do it and email it to me and it doesn't show up on Google Classroom. And so it looks like they didn't do the work. And I think it's just kind of their preference on what they want to do. So a lot of times I have to keep an eye on my mail, my Gmail too, to make sure I'm not missing any assignments that kids have done. So I just want you guys to be aware of that so that you're not missing out.
Did you have to train kids how to do it in, I mean, okay, so on that cheat sheet, if it's not fillable online, that means they have to print it.
It is fillable.
Oh, it is. Okay.
Yeah. They just have to download it.
They have to download it, and then they download it back in again to send to you.
It just automatically shares because it's in Google.
Okay. Okay.
So it just saves, shares, and like when they send me an assignment and I make corrections, I'll highlight, do my corrections on it. It automatically saves, and then I'll just put in a little text box on the side that says, sorry, I've made corrections. Please go in and change what you need to and resubmit. So while, if Stacy wants to answer that question, I can show you how to grade it. But while she's doing that, I will do, let me back up, sorry. I did that without even. So in here, you've got your create, you've got your classwork, your people, your grades, but right here is Google Classroom and the class drive folders. Okay, so Google Classroom or Google Calendar, if you click on it, every single Zoom assignment that you create or anybody in Google Classroom will show on this calendar. They have dates, times, all of that. So they know kind of what they're doing for the day. Not all kids realize that this is here, so we've had to have some conversation about that it being there. So you have to make sure that they know that. So you can actually see the black is the one I just created, but the other one is from my other classroom that I already have. So it shows everything. This week, my kids had on the 21st, this was a Google Hangout that we did early in the morning just to talk about what are you struggling with? Do you have any questions about the assignment? How can I help you? Those sorts of things. Check in. So if they have, like in our school, there's several kids Zooming in the daytime, sometimes 6 a day, or it's crazy. They can see all of this every day of what they need to do and when they need to be there. So I wanted to show you that. Let me see. So it's funny, it shows both classrooms in here. So Stacy, let's say she did the work and I gave her 10 points for that. We can't just click off of it. It says saving, right? And then it says draft. So it doesn't actually show. You have to actually go in and hit return and return again. And the third time. And it says not turned in, but sometimes, like I said, kids will put it in your email and it's not through Google Classroom, but it's okay. So now it actually shows that they've gotten 10, their 10 points for that, okay? And it's good for you to see kind of who's doing what and who may be struggling, because sometimes you only have one kid do an assignment and then you might have to, oh yeah, maybe they don't understand, or so that makes a big difference. Let's see. The other thing I wanted to show you was I also want to show you how to upload a Zoom. So let's see. So when you do a Zoom, like this one is being recorded, it takes a little bit at the end to get it to convert and do its thing, quite a bit, and then you have to upload it. So I wanted to show you. Keep getting, there we go. So go to File. And see if I can find it, because today I was struggling with finding it. No, that's not it either. And it's not going to show. Darn it. See if I can see it in here. No, that's just application. I thought I had it pulled up so I could show you, but I'm struggling. Can you see this screen?
We see the Google Classroom screen.
Okay. I'm gonna stop that. And I'm gonna see if I can share.
While you're looking, there's another chat that says Google Documents, or documents are not always fillable, but you can make any document fillable with Google Slides. There are tutorials on YouTube for making digital assignments.
Yes, there are. And even if you're having trouble uploading the Zoom, hey, there I am. Sorry. So it's not going to let me upload it, but it'll come up as a Zoom. And this is the one in the bottom that you'll want to upload. Because I did audio by accident one time, and yeah, so make sure it's the Zoom one that you put in there.
Why won't it let you upload?
It's because I have to have both screens at the same time, and I can't share them both at the same time, or it's struggling to do that, so it won't let me upload it.
Okay.
So anyways, that, and then you would just add it, put the file, it'll come up the same way like it does for your, you know, like your classroom assignment. So it'll be there. Yeah.
And your purpose for uploading Zoom was to model the homework
Yes.
assignment? Is that correct?
Correct. So with the application cheat sheet, kids struggle to know what their address is and phone number, let alone somebody else's. Plus on there is like 3 references because sometimes they want those on an application if they're going to fill them out on site. And so I was modeling and showing the things that needed to be in there specifically, or some of the language, like if you're going to graduate in, 2022, then it would be, anticipated graduation date, June 2022, because you haven't gotten your diploma yet, or just some of their strengths and skills that they can't remember about themselves and stuff like that. So I specifically did that. And then I also did one for a resume. Some of the things that specifically need to be on a resume, some of that language. And so those things I specifically did a Zoom, only me recorded it and then uploaded it for the kids so I could model what I wanted. And I shared that document, filled it out online the whole way with them. And then made sure that they could get a hold of me if they had any questions, or could email me or call me or whatever. So those things, sorry, I can't really show you because it's hard to, if you can't have, multiple things up there at the same time, be able to show that. But all right, let's see. I'm trying to remember what I got else on here. The one thing that I also want to show you guys for our school district, I wanted to show this for you guys because one of the things that happened when we started Zooming with kids, and your kids have, 7 classes a day, and teachers were like, I'm Zooming and Zooming and Zooming, and pretty soon you have 2 Zooms at the same time, and kids were getting frustrated. And so we created this Excel spreadsheet where days and times all the way through the day, so that we knew who was doing it when. Also, if parents were calling and going, I don't know when the Zoom is. And of course, that Google Class, or that Google Calendar that's in Google Classroom, parents didn't know about that. So that was also another conversation, but also for us just to know that, oh, we don't need to be doing them at the same time and frustrating kids even more. So we created this, is shareable with all of our teachers, and wanted to make sure that nobody was kind of stepping on each other's toes and everybody had their times. So as you guys embark on it, this might be something you could suggest or share with your district, so that not just your Zooms, but maybe your Google Hangouts, your Google Meets, those sorts of things, which is also in your classroom. So I need to show you that as well. Going back. So the other thing is in the Google Calendar where I showed you, right, where'd it go? There it is. This occupational prep. This is my time that I'm with my kids to answer questions, talk about things. I also talk about upcoming jobs or any changes. Like our Parks and Rec just, had, I don't know, 50 students apply, and then they came back and said, oh, we're not doing interviews right now. So this is kind of talking to them about the updates, any help they need for the class. But I want to show you where those are. So in your, over here where it says all of your Google Classroom, Sheets, Docs, all of that stuff, it says Google Meet right here. There's also down below Google Hangout. They're basically the same thing. And you can and I don't know if your school districts allow you to use these. I do not use Google Meet or Google Hangout to record, because if you're using Google Hangout and Google Meet, it automatically shows the kids that are in your classroom, and without everybody's permission, it won't allow you to record. So that's why I go out to Zoom and record and then download it into Google Classroom. I think that's mostly a legal thing, and so I just choose to do it that way. I don't know if you guys are even allowed to use that. But I'm going to show you. So we're going to click on it, and you usually have to download it in Chrome or Firefox or Edge. And it's basically the same thing as Zoom. You can chat in it, you can record in it, but it's basically just for your classroom.
Are you allowed to record? Our school district won't allow us to record with students.
See, we're allowed to, but I don't feel comfortable with it. So I just don't.
Yeah, we've been told absolutely no recording with students.
Yeah. So that's what the other reason why I go out to Zoom and record, because I can't do it in Google Meets or Google Hangout, because it's attached to the classroom and all of those kids are attached to that. So I just feel like I shouldn't, but each district, like I said, is different. And I use it to just like us right now. Hey, what's going on? How do we, just those conversations. I don't record it. It's just to check in. If I want to record something, I go out to Zoom and do that.
Okay, there's the chat. Okay, go on.
While we're on the topic of videos and making videos, Susan Collins says that I don't know if you can do it with Zoom, but Edpuzzle allows you to edit a video and put some questions in. When you download your Zoom videos, you should be able to import it into Edpuzzle and then make any modifications you need to.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, I like that. That might be, another option. I know there's a lot of platforms that people use. I think you really have to be careful about what your district allows you to use. And, some people aren't even allowed to talk to their kids right now. So I just want you guys to make sure that you're following whatever your district wants you to do. I just wanted you guys to see this platform so you kind of know how to use it. So when you get in there, you're not feeling extremely intimidating. It's actually an easy platform to use. The other thing that I've been embarking on that I can't show you is Google Classroom has the ability to sync with whatever system you're using for grading, and like your master, school master, or whatever it is. We use Synergy, so we can sync all of these grades into Synergy, so we don't have to take them from one platform to another. I started to do that, and then our tech people said, no, you don't have to do that individually. We can now sync it. So depending on whatever you're using, you can do that, and then that way you're not really, it's hard to keep track of two systems, right? So if you can sync it, then it'll make your life a lot easier. And that is something you will have to get together with tech to do. It's a little bit more of a challenging process, but once you get it done, it works really well. Any questions about that? Okay. The other thing I want to talk about is like CIS and assessments. You can also put those in here. So there's material you can put in here. There's lots of things. So if you guys need kids to do assessments, you can link it up to this as well so that they can do those. Our school doesn't use CIS, and I'm in that part in my class this term that I've already done all of my assessments. We're more of like the application, resume, cover letter, interviewing, that's part right now. So that's kind of where I'm at. But you can put your assessments in here for kids to do. So I just wanted you guys to be aware of that if you need to use any of those things, or not just CIS, but if there's any other assessments. And also, we've been talking also about doing, like if you needed to do Maggie training or those Maggie classes, we were talking, kind of trying to problem solve how we would do that on this platform, because a lot of times you are in front of the kids and you're having that dialogue back and forth. And so it was, you know, is it the Google Hangout that you would use to do that? Could you upload the paperwork part to an assignment and then later on that week do that Google Meet or Google Classroom or Google Hangout to have a conversation about what they did? So it's been, I think you could also use it in here. The other thing is let's say, let's go into Stacy here. Stacy. Why is it not giving it to me? See if I can view details. So here at the bottom, so each assignment that you give kids and they turn in, here at the bottom, you can actually privately comment to them. I just wanted people to know that this is here. So I ask every day a question about jobs or anything like that. Sometimes it's random. Sometimes last week was if there was one thing of your parents you could throw out, what would it be? I can tell you I got some pretty hilarious comments back. But if it's something that a kid you want to reply back to, you could do it here. I think it's a good thing to have a dialogue with them back and forth. And so I just wanted to show you that it's here. So in those questions or anything that comes up, you can do that and not everybody's seeing it. Now, with that said, there is a port in here, and I was trying to find it, that it is public, so everybody can comment on it. So I want to make sure that it says add private comment, so you know that it's private and not to the whole group, okay? But also, you know, maybe you make a quick comment and then you go have a conversation, you know, call them or whatever. But I just want you to know that you can do private comments in here. I seen something come up on chat. What was it? I didn't get to see it.
This is awesome because the teacher posted, she messed this up on all her kids. So thank you for showing this to us.
Oh, you're welcome.
So, yeah.
Well, and it, like I said, I'm not the expert. I have been playing with it, and I'm sure there's a few other things I'm missing on here. but I wanted to give you kind of like just the gist of it. It's actually a pretty easy platform. Like I said, I think the hardest part for me is downloading those Zooms. They take a little bit, and then finding them. They kind of disappear off of my files. So make sure that you're naming them and putting them specifically somewhere if you're going to do that. That was my learning curve. The other thing is remembering that not everything, they don't answer everything in Google Classroom, that it could go to your Gmail. So making sure you're checking that. So when I'm grading down through here, I always go, okay, well, they're missing this. And I'll go to my Gmail and put the kid's name in and go, oh, here's the assignment they did. So making sure that you're not missing it in that piece. That was also a learning curve, because one of my kids was like, I did all 5 of them. What are you talking about? It's like, oh, you did. And then I was like, oh yeah, I remember seeing it. Where is it? So just remembering that it can be in both places. But I like that you can kind of comment back and forth. The other thing that I love about it is if you do put your kids' parents in there, that they're seeing the grades, they're seeing the homework that's missing, all of that. And so it kind of holds them a little bit more accountable. I have 2 kids that prior to this was struggling, that have 96% in my class because their parents now have access and are telling them, no, get your work done. So I think it's pretty beneficial in that way. You may not have that for every student, but the majority of them. So there's just things like that that I wanted to show you guys. Also, the other thing when we embarked on this, and like I said, I don't know where every school district is and if they're just starting out or not. The other thing is we also had probably 25 students that just dropped off the face of the earth. No response to phone calls, emails, nothing. And so we also did an Excel spreadsheet that everybody can see about and all the communication for every single student, or all those students for every single teacher, so that if one teacher was having more success than the other, then that teacher could help out with the other classrooms, and that's been a success. And that we're not letting those kids get behind and fall short. So I don't know, like I said, I'm just trying to kind of give you guys some tools so that you, like I said, can make this a successful launch if that's where you're at. And if you're not, if you're in the middle of it like me, playing around with it, there's a lot of Google or videos on YouTube on how to upload. I had to watch the one on the Zoom upload a couple of times before I got it. So just really take your time. This is a new thing. It's new for the kids. It's new for us. We've had to have a lot of conversations even how to use Google Classroom with our kids. The other thing I found was some of our kids didn't even know how to email back. So we're learning lots of things, because email was not even one of those things that we didn't even think about. But when you're getting emails from 7 different teachers every single day, it's overwhelming. So it's also a conversation we're having about how we can scale some stuff back and still let them be successful. Any questions? Because I threw a lot of information at you.
Yeah, and people can just unmute themselves because we have about 10 minutes left if anyone wants to add anything or ask a question or have some great advice.
Elizabeth, oh, you're asking, never mind. I am actually in Crook County. I'm in Prineville, Oregon, in the middle, and we, our kids started online schooling April 1st. So like I said, every school district was different, but we also had Facebook. We have Facebook in Prineville and Apple, and they had bought tablets and laptops for every kid in the district. And then so that they had them. And we've also had to track a bunch of families down because Ben Broadband did free internet for 2 months. And so we had to have some conversation with parents about having that. All 29 of our buses have Wi-Fi and they're parked throughout the community, so our kids can actually go sit on the bus or sit next to the bus. I have parents that are parking next to buses to get their kids to have internet access and get stuff done. I have kids who are riding down there. Those buses who have the Wi-Fi on them also deliver food to the kids daily, along with the kids who don't have printers, don't have ways to print stuff out. Like this week I'm doing applications, right? So some of my kids can't print that out. We can actually have them printed in our print shop, and they put them on the buses and take them out to the kids, and they can pick them up off the bus. So that is also helping to make sure that kids are getting what they need, whether it's via, a Google Classroom or if it's just paper and pen. So we're just trying to meet the kids where they are. And, kids with disabilities struggle a little bit more with this technology. And so trying to give them a little bit more grace, a little bit more time, a lot more conversations. Sometimes it's just on the phone, walking them through it. I've Zoomed with one other kid that I had like the cheat sheet with, and she shared it and was doing it, and I was talking her through it. So just remember, it's a lot for us to learn. It's a lot for them to learn, and to give your guys a lot of grace, because it's a whole new world right now.
Thank you, Patty. I was wondering if you would feel comfortable sharing some of the assignments that you already have posted, so we don't have to.
I think I can show you kind of, let me see if I can show you without actually showing you. Does that make sense?
No, I just meant share them. So like I could do like the practice thing. I could copy it, like, put it in my own
application cheat sheet.
Yeah.
Like share the
if there's things that you've already done to, I think Michelle Markle was putting together a place that we could share resources with one another, so that I can go grab things that have already been worked on and put it up, or make small adjustments if I need to, and then put it in my own classroom.
Yes, I can share. So I kind of have a sample resume, and I have an application cheat sheet. And then I also have uploaded an actual application. And, Terry yesterday was asking me about, kids filling out applications. And I know in the bigger metro areas, it might be more online, but I'm in a small community and they're still having to do hand applications. And so I wanted to have them have the best opportunity to be able to fill those out on their own and feel independent. And so that's why I created that application cheat sheet, so they can have it on them at all times. And if they are caught off guard and have to do it, they have that information. My kids know how to do a lot of online stuff because we do that, but also it's that conversation of your words can't run together. You can't have a lot of scribbles. You have to have NAs in here and there. And, just really showing them how to do it. And it takes 6 seconds for an employer to look at it. It looks like a hot mess. They throw it out and you don't even get an interview. So it's those things. So I can definitely share those. I will share a couple of the YouTube videos about uploading Zoom and that sort of stuff, so you guys have that as well. So I can share as much as I have up to this point, for sure.
Just for you to know, we'll try and get these updated to the website in the next couple of days on our resources, as we did with the previous CoP resources. So it should just take a couple of days and they'll be up there.
Anybody else have anything? We have a few more minutes, and remember, go to the YTP website. We will list all the community of practices every Thursday from 1 to 2. If you find a resource that is incredible that you want to share, please let the rest of this group know. Anybody else?
At any point, I'm going to put my email address into the chat. So if you guys just feel like you're stuck or just want to ask general questions, please feel free to reach out to me and I can help you out. Because I am currently working from home, and so I can help out if need be.
Okay, thank you
Thank you.
very much. Great job. Appreciate you sharing with everyone. Awesome. And are there any other announcements that anyone has? Well, I guess that is, thank you, Patty. And thank you all for being here.
Thanks, Patty. That was
Thank
great.
you guys.
Great info. So see you all next time, next week. Bye.
Bye.